Hey, Mark, thank you so much for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. So I'm seeing in Discord that I'm getting blamed for calling the top in ULTY, and I didn't say to sell it. I mean, that's one of the three best funds out there, in my opinion, for the stuff I'm looking for. If you like single stocks, I mean, there's better ones out there for sure. But I mean, you know, I like having exposure to Coinbase and MicroStrategies and that kind of stuff, but you can get those inside Alti and inside GPTY and inside Chippy and those other stocks, and and inside YMAX for sure. So, all right. But let's see what's going on. So there was an economic number that came out this morning. The market's crashing. It's down 92 basis points. So I'm calling the market the Nasdaq. That is the market, but it's also the SPY. SPY is only down 34 basis points, but 93 basis points. Probably the worst result we've had in a while. But Bitcoin's still up. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch Trade Brigade, but you have. But we probably are getting kind of toppy. Who knows? The guys I really follow a lot are let me make sure I got the screen shared. Are not option geeks. Market geeks of finance. Anyway, they do a lot of dealer positioning stuff, and they say we have one more push to 64,000, 6,400. I mean, on the SPY. Now we almost got there yesterday, or on the ES. What was the high yesterday, or the high this morning was 63.74. I don't know. Maybe that's close enough. Maybe the end is here. Maybe it's time to sell everything. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So what else is going on? But I was discouraged in my freaking model portfolio. I wanted to get it reallocated when it was above water. It's back underwater today, probably because I'm overloaded in ULTY, or not overloaded, but it's part of the problem. And I'm guessing my hedges aren't working that great today. I'm guessing GDXY isn't up. Yesterday, GDXY was up huge. Let's see what GDX itself is doing. Well, GDX itself looks really good. GDXY should be in good shape. That's a weekly chart too, but still on a weekly basis, that looks pretty good. But let's turn it back on a daily basis. I mean, what's not to like, right? Let's look at the Qs on a daily basis. All right, let's look at the Qs on a 30-minute basis. Did we have a gap down in some index yesterday, and we have supply above us or something? Yeah, that's a gap up that failed, I guess, right there, and it's small. So, all right. Well, let's look at the SPY. I mean, could just be checking the last point of control. I mean, really, it could be checking. This is a point of control nowadays. This is an emerging point of control. I mean, yeah, it overshot it. Maybe it's going to check this one, but and I don't know why that is red. I guess it's red because it was a down gap. That's right. That was the overhead supply, but it's been violated more times than Lindsay Lohan. I mean, or than one of Michael Jackson's victims. I don't know. I was trying to think of a funny joke. And not very funny to joke about that kind of stuff, is it? Anyway, so I don't know. And this up gap is in question too. We'll see if they recovered by the end of the day. But anyway, all right, let's look at some other stuff. How about the buffer? Let's get over here to the buffer report, GPTY verse and that kind of stuff. Well, we don't actually have the GPTY verse, but that's the name of the darn spreadsheet. We do have ULTY trades we can look at. We looked at some of them last night. We actually downloaded and looked at some of them last night. All right, it's good to see I'm sharing the screen. That is great to see. Let's just kind of get a broad picture. I guess that's going to be feed and 5E up the most. No, look at that, FIRI and FIRS, the fire funds. We're going to check in. We're going to weave over to that lane. We're going to weave over to that lane real quick. I want to see how their assets under management were doing it. At first, they were having a hard time picking up assets under management. for some reason, the fire community, at least at first, wasn't all over. But I think that once the Bitcoin community got a hold of YieldMax and started posting them started doing spaces on them with Twitter, this became more popular. It's still 1.4 million, man. And I called up some of those fire guys, or I talked to Todd. I sent him a message. I was trying to help these guys, Mike and Jay, find some people, some shows to go on. I'm just not a fire guy. But I called up Todd. I mean, Todd made it to the show in New York. I mean, so they obviously met him, but I didn't call him up. I sent him a message. And I told him about Kamir. I mean, Kamir's a fire guy. I mean, this was like a year ago. And I tried to put him together with Kamir, and I went on one of Kamir's live streams to tell Kamir to give them a call. And those guys, Kamir's a nice guy, but I don't like the guys in his live streams. The guys on his, like I said, it was a year ago, but they were not Max fans. Let's just put it that way. And that's fine. I'm not going for broad appeal. I'm just going for I'd rather be right and accurate than have a jillion views. Now, there are people like Rod that can have managed to deliver a high degree of accuracy and get a jillion views. But anyway, the truth doesn't always sell. All right, YQQQ is up 80 basis points. I kind of like that. I mean, but it's not. My ULTY is killing me today. Look at GPTY, my supposedly steady high yield fund is down 1.76. What's getting killed? It's not crypto. I mean, Bitcoin's up. Anyway, these fire funds are just funds of funds with other good funds in them. I think Marcus in our room has some of them. I mean, they look like they ought to be good funds. I just don't know. I guess maybe people don't want the fund of funds or something. This one has granny shots in it. Okay. I need to. I'm writing something down to talk about here in a little while. Anyway, all right, I'll stop ranting. I'll stop ranting about the fire funds. I mean, it's not like I have any of them. So, but anyway, you know what the fire community was mad about? Mike read a book or did some research and found out they wanted a 4% yield. And so he made a build with the 6% yield, and then it didn't yield enough. Everyone said it didn't yield enough. So he switched it to 12. The only one that's up is HIGH. I mean, the one that's up the most. So let's check into HIGH. Simplify enhanced income. Pretty good looking. I mean, I'd say they need to enhance their income a little bit more. It's only 7.2. I mean, you could get that out of JEPI, and you'd probably do a lot better. Let's see. I know you would. Let's look at the dividend. No, not Discord. The dividend channel. Let's get out the old calculator. We'll get over to the other stuff too. Yeah. What was it? Gosh darn it. I have the worst short-term memory. I'm going to do high, and I'm going to check it against. We're going to check it against JEPI. JEPI pays 8 or 9. It pays more sometimes too, but I mean, high is really unvolatile. I guess I could put high in the max factor and we could see where it lands. I mean, it has been doing well lately. There's no doubt it has recent momentum, and I mean, it's doing something right. It's doing something right. I'm just saying, if I'm looking in the 6 to 8%, it's going to be JEPI. Or if I can do 6, I mean, QYLG, not QYLD, QYLG, little half of a right fund. Yeah. I mean, if you can deal with 6%, there you have it right there. I mean, QYLG is still not going to come close to outperforming the Qs because it's still half capped. But I mean, it looked better than high if you want that kind of performance. And it doesn't look terrible, but I mean, it's 11% for a year, or what does this go from? It's for 4 years. Okay, so it's 11% average annual. Well, that's pretty dang good. Come on. I mean, true, the market has 17% actual annual, but 11%, what does that do on the 70 rule of 72? That's every 6 years. You know, that's pretty good. All right. Anyway, moving back over here. Okay. Let's look at some other stuff. Maybe the yield max buffer, see what's moving in yield max land. I guess NVDY being down so much and Coney being down so much is hitting those other funds I have. GPTY has some of these in it, and Alti has, you know, some of them in it. Only one that's up is Marnie. I'm also hearing in Discord there's rotation going on. The guys in Discord have been talking about it yesterday, but the leaders are getting sold and it's getting, you know, they're rotating through assets. So you just don't see it. I would expect when that happens, I would expect Bitcoin to be down 2, 3, 4%, not to be up. So, I mean, but to be fair, Bitcoin wasn't as high as it was, you know, a few hours ago. I mean, I guess this morning's number did a number on it. All right, let's look at some other stuff. Even Palti's down this morning. Darn it. See, none of them are outperforming on the downside, but they're all catching a lot of downside. Look at NVDY catching about 80%. Fibby outperforming on the downside, as is ULTY, of course. ULTY is bouncing. I looked at it this morning. It was down 2%. Now it's down 1.5%. Come on, baby. Bounce. All right. Let's look at the high yield technical analysis. I've run the sheet for this morning. And I'm not happy with the algorithm. But I'll work on that. And also something else is going on. But anyway, what I'm not happy with is COIW ought to be ranked higher. Now I redid this all so we could get Misty ranked higher. Not so we could get Misty ranked higher, but I wanted Misty to have a chance to be in there. Now Misty's recently turned down. The momentum stopped and this caught it. So that's good. But the momentum certainly hasn't stopped in COIW. So I need to find some way to maybe depreciate I'm putting a factor in there of balance, and maybe it's too balanced because COIW is like number 33 with 126 NAV return, you know, and a 16% yield. So it's too out of balance, but I may tinker with those numbers a little bit but like I always say, other things being equal, I want one that has NAV return 126% and yield 126%, right? That's what we all want. You don't want one that has NAV return of 126% and yield of 1. I mean, I don't. And I was giving an extreme example, but to me, you know, you have two that pay 50% or that have a yield of 50% and a NAV return of 50%. That to me is more valuable than one that has a NAV return of 60% and a yield of 6, or, you know, or the opposite. So, but I'll work on that. I'm sorry if you're a COIW fan. It's obviously one of the best ones out there right now, and I'll work on it. Anyway, but there's the list right there. I mean, I love that YMAX and YMAG, they haven't been on the list in a while, but I saw. But on the top 20, I don't know why the top 20 is different from that other list. I need to get on that. But they're 15 and 16. Let's look at YMAX and YMAG. We're gonna dodge into that lane, but then I'll say hi to you, and then I got channel announcements and other fun stuff to talk about. But let's look at all. Let's look at all YMAX and YMAG. We'll compare them to the Qs. I'll go YMAG. I'd expect it to be down more and up more, just more volatile all the way around. And it is. Look at this. It dropped from 13.5 all the way to, 11 in the April pullback, whereas the other one dropped from being up 12,000 to 11 or 10.5. So anyway, but you can see the concentration helped out, and now that we're back in a bull market, it's doing better. But just kind of the way it works. But anyway, that's great to see. YMAG's average annual total return is 20% over 1.5 years. It's been a good 1.5 years, but on the rule of 72, that doubles your money every 3.1 years or something. Now you can do some damage doing that. I mean, some damage in a good way. All right, let's put QQQ plus YMAX in there. Now I would expect YMAX to be less volatile compared to YMAG. Yeah, and it's more like because it's an index, and then that's what you get. Now, unfortunately, though, the Qs lately have been, if you look at the bottom chart, dividends not reinvested, but taken in cash and factored in. Qs have been spanking YMAX. But you look here, YMAX has a 19%, total over a year and a half, 19% CAGR. Like I say, it's been a good year, though, because the Qs themselves have 24%. Like I always say, Qs don't pay a dividend, and YMAX does. That's the only difference. There's the main difference. All right. Let's go back here. I just want to look at YMAX and YMAC compared to each other, see how similar it's been. I mean, YMAG is just so concentrated. It does well when the market's going up, obviously, but it sheds a lot of value when the market's going down because of the excess concentration, and not only the excess concentration, I wonder what the portfolio beta of the Mag 7 is. I should probably look that up, or we could probably track that. But I'm thinking it's going to be a higher portfolio beta than the YMAX. YMAX will have a high one also, but not quite as high just due to the concentration. All right. Well, and really that concentration lesson, if you look at single stocks versus index stocks, that's even more pronounced. And that's, you can get all these single stocks as part of an index, most of them. I mean, so I just like the index method. All right. I'm going to recognize whoever's here. Say hi. Mark's here. Thank you. Okay, GDXY. Thanks for looking that up. You know me, I just look up as long as GDX is doing fine, but I pulled up a weekly chart. It's hard to see much, but on the weekly chart, GDX looked good. Anyway, need to switch to GLDY. All right. Hey, Dan, thank you so much for being here. Froggy's here. All your REITs are up. Good job. Does anyone have that one Renty? So is TLTW. Well, why's TLTW up? Are you serious? What's going on? That's not supposed to happen. Come on. You got to be kidding me. Let's compare YMAX and TLTW. TLTW, I mean, TLTW is a great diversifier. You need an income without much volatility. It'd be a good way to kind of, or be a way to mellow out some of the higher beta ones. And still get a yield. I mean, it paid $5 on 25, so that's 1/5, so that's 20%, but that's over a year and a half, so you got to take off the half a year. It's 12%, something like that, 13. Anyway, all right, well, yeah, it's rotation, I guess. Dan had a little Renty, and it was a little down. All right. The next one of those type funds I want to get is Chippy, but there's a lot of overlap between Chippy and GPTY and a lot of them. So, but Chippy seems to be a little bit more interested than Renty. But Renty, though, if that sector of the economy gets going, and when it does, it'll be all over the Max Factor because the Max Factor was pretty good about picking up momentum. you know, like I said, I just need to build the filter a little bit where it maybe depreciates the balance aspect. I still want to keep it in there, but maybe I depreciate the balance aspect by half or something. His balance is good, but I mean, it's, COIW should definitely be higher. All right. So guess what came in the mail yesterday? It's got sent all the way from Twin Cities, Minnesota. So that's probably where the printing plant is, but I'm surprised Texas wouldn't have their own license plate printing. Maybe it's something else. It's probably a credit card offer or something, but it says state of Texas. Attaches your new driver's license. Yeah. I'll be damned. Well, it would have been nice to have that in time to go to New York. All right. So other stuff I want to talk about. I just had a new idea. You know how yesterday we were talking about that? There's a fund out there called 50. Let's go back over here. And I fell in love with it. Uh-oh, Jackson's going crazy. He's picking up his squeaky pig. Jackson, come here. Bring me your squeaky pig. Come here. Come here. This is your show too. Come here. Let me see you. Let me see you, Jackson. Come on. Jackson, let me see you. Come here. Jackson. Come here. Give me a kiss. Oh, yes, sir. What a good dog. What a good dog. Yeah. Anyway, hang on. He needs to eat. Give me just a second. Okay. All right. I mean, I love the idea of analyzing stock and looking at earnings and looking at future price growth and looking at all the stuff you're supposed to look at. I've read books on it. I mean, most of the books I've read have been on technical analysis, but I mean, I got real into something called CAN-SLIM. Some of the older guys or more experienced guys might remember the CAN-SLIM method. And it was by a guy named William O'Neill. And he was the publisher in chief. I think he's passed away now of Investors Business Daily. And I think that Investors Business Daily index that they're showing, this innovator index, I think it uses the CAN-SLIM method. Anyway, go look it up if you're interested in it. But I like the idea of picking stocks based on trying to find the best companies. I mean, but at the end of the day, I lots of times I think that a lot of energy is wasted on that. And you can also just if you're technical, you can just pick the ones that are going up the most, because especially if you have a short outlook, once they made daily options and everything had end of week options, it's a dream come true for someone like me. Anyway, but that's why I'm really interested in this Innovator IBD index, not really to buy it. I mean, maybe Jay should make a fund that owns this. And then, I mean, I like growth investments that also pay a yield. But anyway, yesterday I was just talking about maybe using it for looking for stocks to sell options on yourself. Here's Rocket Lab. I mean, Robinhood, of course, it's just a good way. I've never even defined stocks you maybe never heard of. Here's one that's well priced, and it has all these great growth characteristics because it's in this index. Anyway, all I was wanting to say and what I wrote down is Granny Shots, and I don't know the ticker for it. Maybe I'll just type in Granny Shots. Yeah, GRNY. Okay. Granny Shots, probably the same thing. ARK is a good place to mine for growth stocks to maybe sell options on. We have a lot of guys in our room that sell options on their own stuff. So is anyone doing anything in KLA? Well, that's too expensive. It was too expensive for me. I mean, a $900 stock. I mean, especially for writing, weekly options, just doing it over and over and trying to get on the gravy train. Anyway, but I need to add that one, Granny Shots, to my list of other places to peruse. So now to look for growth stocks. I mean, growth is good. So we have Granny Shots, we have 50, and what was the other one? Oh, and we have ARK, and we finally figured out the symbol to ARK. Anyway, this Granny Shots, YieldMax sponsors this fund. Now, maybe these guys probably don't want to do it, but I would also think it would be interesting if YieldMax would use the Granny shots as an underline, and then maybe sell lightning spreads on it or something. Sell put spreads on all these stocks. Because it's definitely a problem with high yield funds that you're giving up money to growth funds. That's the problem. Now, when you're in retirement and everything, it's all right because it's an agreement you made. And hopefully by the time you're retired, you have some extra money and you can allocate some to some high yield. And my story. But that's not the way these are being used. And a lot of people are using these to live off of and whatever. So if we could find ones with better stocks in it, it would solve part of the problem. Because that's the problem is the stocks, the whole is the problem and the solution. So, Ofer, appreciate you being here. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. I do. If you subscribe to FinViz, there's something called covered call. You saw what I did that one day. Just send me that CVS file and that would be great. I could, oh my gosh. Yeah. Large cap. Well, here, watch this. Here's the way I know to get it. Like put in QQQY, whatever, any covered call fund. I know it's a short put fund, but whatever. Well, that's had some pretty good NAV. But of course the market's been on the most roaring freaking rally ever. It's gone from 23.5 to 25.90. So that's $2.30 on 20. That's 10% on NAV. That's not bad. Anyway. All right. But yeah, right here, it's going to say, it says options. Well, one of them says covered call. Options probably gives you a different list. Okay, let's do QILD. Because for sure that's covered call. That's the covered call. Maybe, maybe options. Oh, there it is. Covered call. Yeah. So all I want you to do is click on covered call. And it'll give us, you just hit export and oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. And I can have a sort. Oh my gosh, that would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ofer. How are you doing this morning? Thank you for being here. You turned into a regular. I'm seeing over in Discord, the gold mines are doing well. Remember that song, I got the gold mine and she got the shaft? Or no, she got the gold mine and I got the shaft. I'm sorry. I had it totally backwards. Oh my gosh. All my exes live in Texas. All my exes wear Rolexes. A lot of good country heartbreak songs about that kind of stuff. All right. For what, I don't know that we're going to have a coming down turn for sure, but it has, for me, I've still been thinking about what I'm going to allocate, and I'm thinking about switching. I have 4 funds at 20% right now, and I'm thinking about going to 6 funds at 15%. One of those will be YQQQ. So a lot of my funds, my bullish funds, have a gigantic profit in ALTI, GPTY, GDXY, and they're all at 23, 24%. So I'm thinking about adding Chippy and adding blocks to the mix. I'll still have LFGY, but I'll only have 15% and 25 instead of 25%. Anyway, I'm going to do that today for sure. So I'm the kind of guy that believes in defensive allocations and using a little YQQQ. And I'm not convinced a downturn's coming. Maybe a downturn's coming, but I don't think the end of the world's here or whatever. But it's always good. So with me, I'm just not too overloaded, so I'm not worried about it. But I'll try to make some content on it. But Marcus agrees with me. I don't know if Marcus is here this morning. If he is, he isn't talking. That's fine. He may be busy, but I think he has a job, a real job. But, it's not just me saying it. Marcus is a fairly, savvy trader. It seems like anyway. And he is, he likes, he uses a little YQQQ. I think he uses 10 or 15%. And he used it through April. And I think some other people in Discord did. It's not the be all and the end all, but I like the idea of being able to get money in a down market. But if you're a market timer and for sure the market's going down, I guess you could go 100% in YQQQ if you really thought, but I just wouldn't recommend that. But but I just say stay allocated, stay diverse, and but I don't know your situation. If you're overloaded on it and you're young, and maybe you're like, okay, well, this has been great. I maybe got away from it, or maybe just cut, take some profits, cut half your position. If the market goes down, that's fine. Cut half your position, put it in high or something. I think that's a bond fund. We didn't even look what it was, but put it in high or buck or something that still makes you money, but it's not attached to the market, and then leave half of it in high yield. And then if it keeps going up, well, you still have half of it in high yield. But if it does come down like you think, then at some point you could reallocate out of the super stable thing, be it high or buck or whatever, and then put it back in the other one. But that's really getting down to market timing and stuff. So I wish I knew a better answer to that. What do you think about SSK? Well, let's look at SSK real quick. All right, I need to get rid of the ads. There's a Finding Serendipity is giving me something to use. Okay, cool. An ad blocker. Wonderful. All right, SSK. I'll look at it here in a little while. Finding Serendipity. If you're in the room, you may not be. You may be in Discord. SSK. Is this the? I think I know what this is, but yeah, I was going to say, is this the staking one? Okay, well, I mean, I don't know much about Solana and staking, and I mean, I don't claim to know much about stocks, but I know even less about crypto. So I would say you'd have to be bullish on Solana and bullish on staking. I could see where the appeal is. I guess Solana's been on fire. Wow. We don't know what yield they'll pay yet, so I don't know how the staking is going to work and if they're, and what kind of percentage they're going to pay. But, just their NAV is looking really good, but it's kind of a short sample size. So they have Solana, they have 58% Solana, and then they have 21 shares of Solana staking ETP. So they have some just long Solana, and then they have a yielding element. It looks like it's a 60-40 mix. And then they have some First American, some government bonds, funds, and stuff like that. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. If it yields more than 6%, it'll go on the max factor once it starts yielding and stuff. I mean, if that does look pretty dang good. But there's some crypto people in here. I mean, Marcus, I think, is the first one that told me about that. We need Marcus. Go in Discord and find Marcus and ask him. And ask him about what you should do for a downturn too. He's more, or somebody else in Discord. Those guys are more into the active trading part of it. All right, so for you about 1,000 just for fun, nothing about Solana. Yeah, well, I mean, it obviously has good momentum. So we'll let you be our test case. You can let us know how it goes. I really want to know what it pays and how what it's gonna pay. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful if it pays a gigantic dividend like 50%, and then it makes a gigantic NAV return like 50%. I'm telling you, that's 50-50 or 100-100. That's as good as it gets to me. Because, yeah, I get that you want NAV return. I mean, that's fine. But the thing is, usually one precludes the other. So, and that's the hard thing. And that's why I'm trying to look for balance and stuff. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Just send me a link. It deletes the link if I post it here. Sure. Are you in our Discord? Maybe put it in Discord. I can give you my email here. I'll give you an email, and anyone else could use this too. If you want to hit me up and you don't have Discord or whatever, then if you are in Discord, I put my phone number in there. Now it's only for emergencies, but you can always shoot me a text and say, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" Shoot me a text first, and then if I'm not busy, I'm happy to talk to anybody. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ofer. I appreciate that. I'm going to use that to build a database or something. That'll be good. We're going to build a searchable database based on that, and it'll be good. But then I'm probably going to have to start getting you to download it once a month. I'm trying to think. No, I think just having the database will be good enough. Once I have the database, I'll start interacting with. I'll fix it. But I guess the only thing that get it again in another month or two or a year might do is if there's a new fund come, if there's, in a year, there might be 20, 30, 40, 50 new covered call funds. But for now, that's the universe of covered call funds. That's what I need to concentrate on. After all, my station's called the Covered Caller. All right, guys. Well, if there's no questions or no further questions, I'm going to go try to see how to get rid of these ads, uBlock or Origin Lite, Chrome Web Store. When he said he wants me to get rid of those ads, is he talking about ads on YouTube? Because the ads on YouTube help me get paid. You can what YouTube wants you to do is subscribe to YouTube Premium, and then I get a cut of that too. I mean, but anyway, then they give the creator a little bit of that. But maybe he's just talking about ads on Discord or ads just in general. But yeah, I will definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. And I tried to get the AI better. So I told him, I didn't say a more average looking man, but this time I will next time. But next time my AI prompt's going to say an average looking man in his 50s and or maybe I could even say a long haired guy in his 50s, a scruffy looking guy. Anyway. And I, this morning I said a Labrador Border Collie mix is what Jack's is, but they gave me a 50-50 mix. So I need next time my AI is pretty good. I'll tell them a 3/4 lab, 1/4 Border Collie, and a more average looking guy with curly hair with kind of medium length curly hair. And I bet it looks more like me. I'm not trying to do false advertising, but this guy, like I said, he's a good looking guy. He might be he's the face of the station. So that's definitely false advertising. Somebody watches this and they think they're going to tune into him. Anyway, all right. I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Mark, I'll talk to you guys and the rest of you guys in Discord. I'll talk to you guys later. Ofer, thanks for sending that, and I will see you in a while. See ya. Want to be ya.